it's good to see all of y'all. I don't like the circumstances we're here, but it's always nice to see all of y'all. That's a tough act to follow. Karen, well said, very well said. Bill, Corky, BB, all these different names. I always called him Dr. G. He was always Dr. G from the first time we met him. And I could never really bring myself to call him anything else. But then Martha had to go and get a doctorate, and there were 2 Dr. G's, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't use the term Dr. G when they were both around. I met Dr. G in September of 1994 when I arrived at his house to pick up his daughter Stacy for her first date. And he was nice and polite, but I'll admit I was a little taken aback when I went to leave. And I said goodbye, and I said it was nice meeting you, and I turned to walk away, and he said, well, I wish I could say the same for you. And I thought, well, that's not very good. But I turned around and I looked, and he was holding their little dog Taffy, and he was looking at the dog making a joke. And in that vein of laughter, that's exactly what he was doing. He was making a joke about the dog. And I realized he was not at all talking to me. In fact, he proved that later because he welcomed me in from the very beginning. Despite that kind of tenuous start, uncertain start from my standpoint, he was always generous to me. He called me shortly thereafter, and he really hardly knew me. And he invited me to a dinner, a birthday dinner, Olive Garden for Stacy. And I joined them, and I was honored that he asked. And then he invited me out to the house to have hamburgers on the grill, which was a very common thing. And they were delicious. He would always add the French onion soup mix in, and they were just so good. But he always welcomed me into his home from the very beginning. I grew up without my own father being in my life. My parents divorced when I was very young, so I never really knew my father. So he really became a surrogate father to me, and it was really terrific. And he was terrific to me. He always showed that he cared for me. He always welcomed me in. He was always there with a maple ice donut from Shipley's on a Saturday morning, or with his favorite lawyer joke. And I heard plenty of lawyer jokes from him, that's for sure. I'm sure most of us have heard a good lawyer joke if you were around when he was in my presence. When I think of scripture verses that came to mind that I wanted to use when talking about him, I came up with Leviticus 19:34. Leviticus is probably not what you're thinking of when you're looking for a scripture verse for this occasion, but there's a great verse in Leviticus that says, treat the foreigner among you as one of your own. Love them as yourself. And that's exactly what he did. He welcomed me in, and he treated me as one of his own. He treated me as a son. And he showed that in so many ways. He hosted my family when I graduated from law school at his house. He let me live with him for a few weeks before I took the bar exam. He cooked me many a good hamburger. He got me my first ever massage when he was back on the massage kick. I think he bought massages for a lot of his family members at that point. But most importantly for me, he gave me the blessing of his daughter's hand in marriage 25 years ago. And I've been so thankful for that. But you know what? Not only for giving me an amazing wife and for showing me hospitality, but also making me part of his family, because by doing that, by making me part of his family, I've met all of you. And all of you become my family. And I cannot imagine what my life would be like without all of you. And I can't imagine what my life would have been like without him. I am so blessed because of him. And I'm so blessed because of all of you. I'm not sure he always appreciated my efforts to honor him, though. When I named my first dog Corky, he didn't seem too happy about that. A little bit nonplussed. When I got him an autographed Dick Vitale picture, he didn't seem real happy about that either. Apparently, he didn't like Dick Vitale. Actually, I knew he didn't like Dick Vitale. That's the reason I got it for him. But he was always funny. I think I remember hearing him when I gave him that picture mutter a few expletives under his breath. But I was always happy to rib him, and he ribbed me back. He took it so well, and that's the nature of a truly good relationship, is that you can kid each other, and yet your relationship is never in doubt. You can rib each other, you can poke each other, you can have fun, but it's never mean. It's never malicious. It's always in love. And I never doubted that he loved me, and I never doubted that he had welcomed me into his family as one of his own. So in closing, I want to leave you with Dr. G's favorite lawyer joke, at least the one I heard from him the most, which was, how do you know when a lawyer's lying? His lips are moving. So I will just say this, Dr. G, my lips are moving now. But I'm not lying when I say that I loved you. I'm blessed to have known you for 26 years, and I'm the better for it. May you spend eternity sharing your favorite lawyer jokes with the angels, and I look forward to hearing them one day when I rejoin you and getting to spend more time with you in eternity. Thank you for your impact on my life.